I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to get roll call, please.
Luther,
Here.
Traxler,
Here.
Sutherland,
Here.
Sweeney,
Here.
Schwebs,
Here.
Merrill,
Here.
Solberg,
Here.
Schlu,
Well, we can see you, Chad, but we can't hear you. I don't know. He's here.
Erdman,
Here.
Sommerfeld.
Here.
Okay, thank you. We don't have any special recognitions this evening, and so we can move right on to approval of minutes. Mr. Heidi, do you need to fill the audience in on how to come into our meeting if you'd like?
Sure. Thanks, Mr. Mayor. So for the public, when the mayor opens up public comments, if you wish to speak, *9. If you're on a cell phone, looks like most people are on their computer. If you go to the participants or the panelists tab, and you should see an option near the bottom of the screen that allows you to raise your hand, and the mayor will call on you if you're in the public.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Nate,
Nate, you got your hand up.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut anybody off. I was just going to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Perfect
if we're ready.
timing. Awesome. Motion made to approve the minutes by Nate Merrill. Is there a second to that motion? Nate, Ryland, you got your hand up?
I'll second Nate's motion.
Okay, thank you. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. No public hearings this evening. Public comments. Public comments is a portion of our meeting where anybody can speak for 3 minutes or less on agenda items for the evening. So at this time, we'll open up public comments. If you'd like to speak, you can do so. Last call for public comments. Okay, seeing nobody for speaking in public comments, we'll close public comments and move on with the rest of our meeting. Under unfinished business, there is no unfinished business this evening, so that brings us down to under new business 6A, authorization to appoint Heidi Olsen as the city treasurer comptroller. Discussion and possible motion approving. And Heidi's here this evening also, so if we want to ask your questions, we can certainly do so. Jan, go ahead, please.
Yes, I wanted to move that we appoint Heidi Olsen as City of Menominee Treasurer Controller effective January 1, 2021.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, Jan. Mary?
I will second Jan's motion.
Great. Motion's been made and seconded. All right. Discussion. Lowell?
No, just a little background. So Susan Hawkinson had been the treasurer comptroller. Susan, because of some felt best interest, she retired or resigned earlier this year back in August. Heidi and I had a discussion, and she gave it a go for 3 months to see if she would like to do this more on a permanent basis. And I arm twisted her into saying yes, or somebody arm twisted her into saying yes. Right or wrong, I don't know if that was wise on her part, but we'll find out. So Heidi is willing to do it. She's done well in her interim duties, got the tax rolls out, which is a big important part of that job description. So I think Heidi's worked for the city since what, 1989-ish. So it's been she's worked her way up. She's paid her dues, and I guess she should be. I think I'm very supportive of Heidi taking this position, and I assume finishing out her career with the city doing this. So thank you for offering to do that, Heidi. Be willing to do that.
Well, and I would agree with Lowell, and I think the entire city staff appreciates her candor. She's very upbeat. She's a sincere individual, and she's given a lot of her life to the city of Menominee, and we appreciate her very much. In fact, I'd be willing to waive the rules if somebody'd like to make a motion on top of a motion. Well, well, Jan,
Got 'em.
go ahead.
Yes,
Okay. Go ahead, Jan.
I made I moved.
Yep, you did.
And
You guys
Mary-
still got your hand up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to put it down.
That's all good. Well, I think it's a pretty impressive that Heidi is here. And Heidi, if you want to turn your microphone on and address the council at this time, this is your opportunity.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Some of you may know me, but Heidi Olsen. Yes, I have been here since 1989. My career started out at the police department, and then I moved up to City Hall. And the last 5 years, I served as the deputy treasurer. And in the last few months, I took the seat as the city treasurer. I have a great office staff. All of us have been through some trying times with the COVID and office shut and changing in staff, but the administration group is wonderful, and I'm very excited to take on this position.
Well, that's really awesome, Heidi. And I think, I know Lowell and your staff supports you and the administration supports you. And we count on your position to really pull your weight. So we look forward to that. Okay, there's a motion on the floor and seconded. All the council members in favor of said motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Well, there you go, Heidi. It was unanimous. Congratulations.
Say that again.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Heidi.
Congrats, Heidi.
Okay, that's great news and good for the city of Menominee. Okay, we're going to move on to 6B.
Randy.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Randy, this is Eric Sutherland. I wasn't sure, and I just want to verify that I was counted at a roll call there.
Yes, you were. We got you down.
Hey, Eric, well,
All right, very
Eric,
good. Thank you.
Eric, this is Randy Heidi. While you're on, I've been muting you because we're getting a lot of background noise from your phone. So I will.
Yes.
I can unmute you before the votes, but we're just getting a lot of background noise while your phone's on.
All right, I understand. I'll mute myself. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Okay, that brings us down to 6B, proposed fire department medical transportation services agreement. Lowell, can you bring us in on that one?
So the fire chief, excuse me, approached the city about
Good night, you guys.
formalizing these. Night, everybody. See you in the morning, Heidi. The fire chief approached myself and the city attorney about formalizing a medical transportation services agreement. I think we mentioned it at a prior meeting with the assisted living facilities in the city. Basically, this would allow us to recover costs when we do transports in the middle of the night or from Mayo back to a facility and garner the Medicare payments that we are entitled to. So instead of doing them for nothing, we would get some fees. If people don't sign up, we would not be doing transport. So if XYZ facility does not agree to this agreement, for lack of a better word, then they would not be provided that service. So I don't know if Ben wants to add some more.
So Denny, Chief Klaus, you're on, if you want to speak to this, Klaus.
Yeah, I think Lowell covered it very well. If anybody has any questions, right now we are doing these transports due to no handy lift running, no taxi running. And we are unable to bill for them under certain parts of Medicare and Medicaid. So this would allow us to build a facility to provide transport back to their place of residence.
So Denny, we would probably get like, this is Lowell, we would probably get 40 cents on the dollar, something like that from what, based on the Medicare reimbursement formula?
Correct. And this would all be handled by Andres Medical Billing. Once the contracts are signed, they would be able to set the rate based on federal numbers following Medicare, Medicaid.
And didn't you indicate other communities are doing this as well?
Correct. Chippewa, I know, is doing it. In fact, the agreement that we're proposing tonight is very similar to what Chippewa runs right now. And I believe out of the they had several facilities and there was only one that would not sign. And I do not believe that they provide service back to that facility either. So.
Oh,
Just for council's awareness, how often do you think this happens? Is it once a night, once a week, once a month?
Multiple times a week. And it's typically non-business hours. We get the calls from the ER at 2 in the morning. Can you please come out to the hospital and pick this person up and take them back to whatever assisted living because we can't get a taxi, their family's out of town. So we're doing these transports and then not getting reimbursed a cent for them. So.
Okay, thanks, Chief Class and Lowell, for that information. Council, if somebody'd like to make a motion in support of the proposed fire department medical transportation services agreement, now is the time to do so. Rylan, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve this.
Okay, and Nate, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I would like to second Ryland's motion.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Rylan, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just was wondering for what the fire department will be reimbursed. Is that enough to cover the wages of the fire department staff, or is the fire department still losing money as if it was doing it pro bono?
I think I probably have the chief answer that one. Chief?
It would be very close to covering. We're looking at roughly $200 per call, and that would, for a 2-person ambulance crew, for a minimum of an hour and a half. Yeah, it'll be very close. It's a lot better than what we're doing right now. We're anticipating somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30,000, maybe more, to be recouped during the year. So
not a big money maker, but we won't be going broke.
Correct.
Okay, Mary, I see Mary, you got your hand up.
yeah. Chief, why are we talking about this now? Has something changed in the past or recent history that we're looking at this?
No, this has been something that we've discussed for quite a while, Mary. It's been, if you will, a public service that we've provided some of these places, but we have to understand that these folks are going back to a for-profit facility, and they are responsible for providing that transportation. So so it's tough to say no at 2 o'clock in the morning when grandma has to go back to the facility and there's no ride for her. So
Yeah. Thank you, Chief.
you bet.
Okay, thank you. Good questions. Motion's been made and seconded. No? So at this point, then, if we'd like to vote on it, all in favor of said motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Brings us down to 6C, proposed 2021-2022 contract agreement with the Menominee Police Lieutenants Association. Discussion, possible motion approving. Lowell?
I'll get the right chief now. Chief Atkinson is out there too. I think Randy will let him in, but this is a 2-year agreement with the, again, the Lieutenants Association. I think it's been renamed from staff officers. Again, it's a 2-year agreement that it's schedule changes, some wage changes, playing comp or getting rid of comp time, paying some of their WRS, I think, and all that good stuff. So similar to the patrol contract that's out there through the same time frame. You approved that a year ago. The lieutenants were did a 1-year deal last year. And with that, maybe Eric has to make some comments that I've missed, but I think this flows fairly similar to the other contract. Correct, Chief?
I would say so. It works well for us. It allows both contracts to work in conjunction with each other and end at the same time, so we can negotiate more effectively together. It provides us flexibility as far as the removal of the comp time, and it also allows us to utilize wages that keep them competitive. And then also it allows us to have wages that are competitive with our own patrol officers, so there still is an incentive to seek a promotion. overall, I would highly recommend this contract for approval.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thank
Anything
you.
else? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put it back towards the council. If somebody'd like to make a motion to approve the contract agreement with the Menominee Police Lieutenants Association, now would be time. Lee?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion made by Lee. Is there a second to that motion? Okay, Robin?
I second Lee's motion.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of said motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, thank you. Under 6D, proposed 641 ordinance amendment for a 4-hour parking limits on the 700 to 1,000 blocks of 2nd Street West. Discussion possible ordinance adoption. And this, excuse me, this is just cleaning up the ordinance that we have in place at this time. So pretty simple, but council?
I can give a little background. I think we put the map in there. This is below the fire station downtown. It's been 4-hour parking down there, but our ordinance only had 2 hours in it, so I asked Ben to clean it up. It was an oversight, and this will make our city ordinances in line with what we're actually doing in the field, so.
Okay, and due to that this is a city ordinance, we'd have to have a council member introduce it as an ordinance introduction.
Correct.
So if somebody'd like to introduce it, we can take it from there. Uh-huh.
I would introduce the ordinance, the
Okay.
641 ordinance. for our
Okay,
bike
it's
limit.
introduced by Nate Merrill. Thank you. And then we're going to need a motion to waive the first reading.
I'll make the
Go ahead, Jeff.
Motion to waive the first reading.
And Mary?
I'll second Jeff's motion.
And all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Now we need a motion to waive the second reading.
I'll make a motion to waive the second reading.
Thank you, Ryland. Is there a second to that motion? Mary?
I'll second Ryland's motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, and now a motion to adopt said ordinance.
I would make a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Nate. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second Nate's motion to adopt.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, that brings us down to budget transfers, which there are none. And then it brings us down to the mayor's report. I've got a 17-page mayor's report ready to go here for this evening, but I condensed it down to just a page and a half. First of all, I just really appreciate all of you serving on the city council. You all have contributed so much to the city of Menominee in your serving on the council. And the staff and all the employees, they appreciate you very much. Just a few highlights of some of the things that were done in 2019 and 2020. The welcome to Menominee signs on the entrances to town. That was due to all of your hard work, and that was awesome. The Oak Avenue extension going out towards between Fleet Farm and past Quick Trip up there. Amazing. I use it almost every day. The EQ tanks that have been put in place and refurbished. The wastewater plant, of course, which you see is doing well. It's still in some construction phases, but those are big ticket items. The heights that you guys have all been a part of, they're full and doing well. The 5th Street West down past the high school, nice corridor, a reconstruction. It was a job well done. The department, the DPW garage, Department of Public Works garage, which is still being worked on, but what a great facility. If you walk in from the old part into the new part, it's like night and day. It is bright and cheery compared to dull and gloomy and cold, and what a great addition to that for the city of Menominee. Able to get Wolski's Bay dredging done this last year. as a huge help. Neither bay gassed off this year. We're on the right approach. There's a lot of work to be done upriver, but that was a great project to be done. The Prevea frontage road out there by Prevea, that was another big project. The Broadway pedestrian crossings, again, safety for our people in town, and those flashing beacons, when they go off, everybody stops. So that's a great thing. The Wakanda Park Regional Pond, that's another big project. That just again adds to the clarity of our lake and some of the watershed regions up north, that learning from what we do down here. So that's all good stuff. The Main Street sidewalks this year, that was a huge improvement downtown. A lot of the store owners appreciated that. Next year, maybe we get to do some of the other side and so forth. And then again, the Christmas Miracle, the Winter Wonderland, and when we get some snow, they're making ice down there now. They're decorating the tree today. Excel Energy came down and put power down there this last week. So now within a couple days, they'll have power to power up the Christmas lights and all the decorations. And the feedback I've gotten from the community on the walking trail and the tens of people that have stopped and talked to me while I was down there goofing off away from work are all ecstatic and really excited to have their families be able to take part in some of the activities down there. So be sure to stop down and check out the Christmas Miracle and what they're going to be doing with that site. I think it's going to be good for the city. As far as 2021 and 22 coming up, we have the 21st Street improvement. Stout Road is being looked at, and see how that turns out. I think that we've got a lot of positive feedback now on that. The River Road, Dairyland Road, the wastewater treatment plant phase 2, the 22nd Avenue Regional Pond, the Tech Park EDA frontage road extension. By the way, that was a piece that just came in. We had talked about that as a 50-50 split with grant monies, and then it changed to an 80-20. Lowell informed me this morning or yesterday that it went back to a 50-50, and Lowell's on the microphone. Lowell?
No, just that we did send a letter in saying that, well, if we're going to go 50-50, then we can't fund more than our $600,000 commitment. And at this point, EDA has come back and said, well, let's look at what you can do for a 50-50 project at that amount and rescope the project. And so we'll be talking to regional planning tomorrow. Randy and myself and Kevin Oyen will be on that call, but I think we'll be able to do a project that extends that road up to at least the property line on the east side, or the base of the hill will stay out of the hill and not connect at this point to Stokey Parkway, but we should have a project hopefully in a few years.
So that's good information and good news. Thank you, Lowell. Main Street sidewalks again, looking at those. Mill and overlay several streets within the city of Menominee, and other projects to be mentioned in the future. So, you can be proud to be serving on the city council, and of all the things that you've accomplished within the city of Menominee. It really, I know I get most of the compliments and thank yous, but tonight I'm passing those compliments and thank yous back to you. You've worked hard this last week, and we appreciate all that you've done. And we look forward to a 2021 without COVID. So that being said, I guess I'll turn the microphone over to Lowell. If you've got any announcements.
No, just the Cali's looking for nomination papers to be submitted, I think, by the end of the year. So
You have until the first Tuesday in January.
just a reminder, Cali.
There you go. Jan, you got your hand up.
Yes, I wanted to say thank you to everyone in the city offices for all of the things that you've helped us accomplish.
Yep.
Well, it was truly a team effort, and I'd be lost without the team of players up here in the administration office and all the employees and the city council. And Ryland, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to, from what the mayor was saying, right now I can see a map on my wall of projects that the city did in the past couple of years. And I was wondering if we could get something similar again of the next 2-3 years worth of projects, big projects in the city, because people come over and look at this map on my wall and they're like, wow, you guys have been doing a lot. And it's just a good reference and good for friends and family that are from out of town to, yep, to look at it and go, hey, Menominee's bigger than I thought and has more going on than I thought. So
Rylan, this is Randy Heidi. The mayor just showed that on screen. It's about a year out of date. So we're going to update it with those 2021, 2022 projects. And we'll update that and send it out to the council. Should get it pretty soon.
Well, I'm super pleased with, other than COVID and the setbacks we had with that in 2020, the projects and the cooperation and the work ethic and the number of projects that the city of Menominee's gotten done, we're second to none when it comes to getting things done in Menominee. And the statement of being progressive is true. We are progressive. City of Menominee is moving forward. Mr. Eddy?
Yeah, and the council, you should have got just a late update, some additional information, an email that went out this afternoon. In there was a list of non-mandated items where you can go to recycle and where you go to take those. We're going to post that on Facebook, our website. We're going to have it as a handout at the solid waste site, the City of Menominee solid waste site. But I think it's a handy reference for you. Megan put this together for us, and a handy reference. If you get calls from people, there's a lot of options for them. As Megan mentioned last council meeting, we will get the solid waste committee together to see if we want to take on one or two of these at our solid waste site, or maybe we just stay status quo. So, and I just wanted to point that out so you know it's there.
Thank you, Mr. Heidi. Any other communications from council? Jeff Luther.
Yes. I just also like to say how I appreciate the city staff, all the hard work that they do. They make our job a lot easier. I put a lot of faith and trust into those individuals down there at your city hall when they bring these proposals into the agendas and stuff. I really enjoyed being on the city council for the last 8 years, working with all you, and it came to my attention and I talked to the individual. There's somebody in my ward that is interested, and he's going to be running for city council in coming this next spring. And I think it's, I had 8 years of learning and understanding how a city operates, but I'm going to be turning in my non-candidacy paperwork on Wednesday, and I'm going to let this individual get the same experience and that I have had over the last 8 years, and I hope he fits in and does really good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes, thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
I'm lost for words because I was supposed to call you to make sure you didn't say something like that tonight.
Sorry. I think it's just time for, someone else in the community to get the experience working with you guys, and, if it was possible, a quarter of the population in the city of Menominee should experience being on the city council at one point or another, But, so I'm just going to step down and let this individual take it, and hope he fits in with you guys and does as good a job as you hoped I did.
Well, I guess we'll have to talk about that one, but but it is true that a lot of people should be serving on the boards and committees throughout the city of Menominee. I know school board and county board and city council, and it's an eye-opening experience, or it can be for everyone. So anyways, okay, anything else from anybody?
This is Lowell. Jeff, you did a heck of a job, and we're really going to miss you. You've been very, very good to work with. So you maybe should take 2 more weeks and think about it. So
yeah, I take a couple more weeks and think about it. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I know somebody's going to be bugging me every day. What's next 2 weeks? Tony.
Yeah. Yep. Your wife?
You.
Oh. All right. Well, we'll carry that conversation on later. But anything else from anybody else as far as communications go?
Well, yes, this is Jan. I received 2 emails from different people about please do everything you can to make sure the COVID-19 vaccine is purely voluntary. We can't, the government can't insist that people have that vaccine, can they?
Oh, you know what? I would just recommend that it's a voluntary move and people just take it voluntary. And I remember that I was supposed to talk about that a little bit tonight, Jan. So thank you for reminding me. But yeah, as far as the city goes, it'd be voluntary. And Lowell, you got your mic on.
No, at this point, there's no, that I'm aware of, no push that we're going to try and make it mandatory or make your job dependent on it. So it'll be up to the individual to decide, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? Okay, we're going to keep moving then. Communications and miscellaneous business claims. If we want to pay the bills, now would be the time to do so. Anybody like to make a motion? Robin, go ahead, please.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
Okay, Mary, got your hand up?
I will second Robin's motion.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Summerfeld,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
Traxler,
Yes,
Sutherland,
Yes. Yes.
Sweeney,
Yes.
Schwebs,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yes.
Solberg,
Yes.
Schlu,
Yes, yes.
got some thumbs up here. Erdman,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No licenses this evening, no closed session. We are in open, and we could have an motion to adjourn if somebody'd like to make that motion. Nate, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I would. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion's been made to adjourn. Jeff, you want to get the last word in?
I'll second H motion.
Second by Jeff Luther. All in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed? Everybody have a Merry, Merry Christmas. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you all next time.
And
Merry
thank you
Christmas,
for-
everyone.